Hey everyone, I haven't done a tank update video in a while, so I thought I would do that. See how brief we can keep it here, and I'll let you know what's going on with our sea monkeys. First change that you'll see right away is a new tank. The one in the back on the right. I can't remember what this is called off the top of my head. Someone will put it in the comments or I'll put it in the description before I upload this video. But this is from a Toys R Us in Singapore. One of my friends sent it to me. You probably don't see any sea monkeys in there yet. I sure as heck haven't yet. I put the eggs in last night, and a lot of times when I start a new set, it takes me 2 days before I can see them. I don't know if that's because it takes a while for them to hatch, or because they're so tiny and hard to see and my eyes aren't perfect. Probably both. So that's back there now. Hopefully in a day or two we'll see some little tiny baby sea monkeys growing. It's a cool looking tank. It's sort of big. You can see the Magiquarium next to it, and it's significantly larger. Back in that spot before, we had the Big Show, the movie theater tank. And that's up here. I have not had much success with it, besides in growing algae. Yeah, sadly, we have no sea monkey life in here. The tank's been moved up here. I'm going to let it evaporate. We'll try restarting it. But it's a couple times now. I've had life in there and it just didn't work out, which is a bummer. I'm thinking part of it is it's harder to keep it warm. The tank itself starts here, not down here. So when I have them on a heating mat, it's harder for the water to warm up. That's my guess. I'm not an expert though. Back to the good tanks. So we've got the 3 tanks up front, the little mini worlds. On the right, we got the city one here. Lots of algae growth. We've got not a whole lot of adult sea monkeys in here. There's a handful. We're starting to get more babies, and this one does really good for the babies making it to adulthood, which I know can be challenging for a lot of colonies. But these babies seem to do pretty well in here, so we get some of those teenager looking ones in here. I got a couple right now. Sometimes they like to hang out in the back. This tank is really cute. One thing I dislike about it is those tall buildings towards the back block out a lot of the light if you have it behind the tank. So I've got these LED stripped lights you can see behind my desk here, which are great for illuminating the tanks. But with those big gold buildings back there, it's sort of hard for this one to get quite as lit up as I would prefer it to be. Middle one, this is the beach tank. Look at that algae. And we've got a lot of adult sea monkeys in here. There's a couple babies too. This is a younger colony than the others, so we don't have quite as many babies. The babies in here would be second generation or possibly just eggs that took longer to hatch. I'm not really sure. Haven't seen tons of mating going on in here, but we all know sea monkeys don't necessarily need to mate to reproduce. The females are pretty incredible that way. So yeah, so we've either got some babies that took a while to hatch or possibly second generation ones. Quite a few adults swimming around. They love grazing on that algae. I was able to take a vacation for a week last month. Fed them before I left, fed them the day I got back, and they were fine, which is great. Obviously, we've got the bubbles going in there too. We've got that going in all the tanks. All right, on the left, we've got the moon world. This one's got a lot of babies right now. Hopefully they'll show up on the video. You can see them. We got some adults swimming right up front. Lots of little babies that have been around for a week or so, maybe a week and a half. They don't grow as fast when they're the second, third generation. This is probably 4th or 5th generation in here, honestly, at this point. This tank's been going since December of last year, and it's looking good. They love grazing on that green algae that's all over the place. That poor alien has all sorts of green gunk growing all over him, but these sea monkeys love to eat it. So, real happy with the babies in here. I showed you this one. Nothing yet. Got some bubbles going. Alright, hard to see this one. This is the Magiquarium, which is pretty much an ocean zoo with a glow-in-the-dark bottom. When you get good algae growth, it doesn't really matter that the bottom glows in the dark because it's all covered in green algae. But yeah, here's what we've got, the Magiquarium. Lots of adults in here. Most of the adults are male. There's one or two females is all, and the rest are male. I don't know how that happened, but just what happened, I guess, with the eggs that came with it. Actually, I don't think they're the eggs that came with it. I think they're ones that came from Transcience that I ordered more recently because this was an old tank. But it was just one pack of eggs, in a water purifier that went in here. Didn't do any transfers at all. Oh, there's a pair mating up at the top. That's great. And you see there's no other mating because I think the rest of those are males. Maybe there's one other female. But yeah, this is really a sausage party in here. What I love is the algae growing in here. You can see it's big sheets of it. The whole back of the tank was covered in one big sheet of algae, almost like a green paper and like a big leaf. And so I sort of peeled it back a little bit. Now they can, I just used a little tiny rubber spatula to do that. Now the sea monkeys can graze and eat on it on both sides of it. And you might be able to see in the video, I don't know if it gets in detail enough, they sort of attach themselves right on there and just go to town eating it. I think these guys are too busy eating to mate much. Or, oh no, there's a single female swimming around. There's not too many of those though. There she is on the magnifier. But yeah, hopefully one of these males will go find her and have some fun. Alright, here's the Smess. Get here, here we go. The Smess Sea Monkeys Executive Supersized Suite. This is my first tank that I got out of this set last December. We've got a lot going on in here still. The number of adults is smaller than it was at one point. And I know that sort of happens sometimes. We've got a ton of babies in this tank right now. I don't think they're going to show up well in the video because this is a pretty large tank and the babies in here are really tiny. Pardon me moving around. I'll see if I can get up closer. Maybe you can see them a little bit. I can see them a little bit on camera. But there's a lot of babies. They're all over this whole tank right now. Water's a little bit cloudy, so these babies can eat. Don't want the adults getting all the food. There's the bubbles. These guys are doing pretty well. So yeah, that's what's going on.